Hello and welcome. I'm Caroline Newton, and in this video I want to discuss why drawing is an excellent tool to contribute to a critical approach to urban design and spatial planning. With this, I mean an approach that first uncovers the injustices people experience or the unequal chances they have to access opportunities to make a good life and happy life for themselves. And secondly, a critical approach that also comes up with strategies for emancipation and change. I believe that if we do both, we can develop a design and planning practice that promotes a just urban future for all. And, in my opinion, drawing is a method to contribute to this practice. What have you used drawing for? When do you draw and what do you draw? I have used drawings to visualize my ideas, or I use it when teaching to explain relations between different concepts. Both examples illustrate that drawing has been a language used both in everyday situations and by experts to convey knowledge or to explain complex issues to people outside of the discipline. Thus, drawing is about communicating knowledge. It is about shaping and sharing thoughts. Drawing has been an architect's most important tool for centuries, not merely because it communicates how houses or a city has been designed, but it is also the most important tool to construct knowledge on and understanding of reality. We can uncover things that are typically invisible to us by drawing the world around us. The act of methodically drawing every element, every line and sunbeam, forces our eyes to understand what is in front of them and to reflect on what they are seeing. Within artistic and architectural research and work, this strength of the act of drawing has been widely acknowledged. Already in 1879, Viollet-le-Duc stated that drawing, if correctly taught, is the finest approach to develop intelligence and to learn to assess and criticize, because drawing teaches one to see, and to see is to know. Because drawing is a process of both observation and expression, you as the drawer engage with the environment you're observing and drawing. The observation and its translation to paper forces you to not only interact with the environment you are drawing, but also question that environment, question the space and the people within it. Precisely because drawing is intrinsically a multi-layered practice and able to shift from observational to investigative to propositional in seconds, it allows communication and generation of alternative or counter-hegemonic ideas and strategies. To explain this further, I unpack drawing into four operations. Drawing as acts of observing, perceiving, exploring, and communicating. In this way, the drawings contribute to Marcuse's approach of critical theory. That is, exposing a problem's roots, proposing strategies for dealing with it rapidly, and politicizing in order to get the strategy implemented. So, first of all, we can understand drawing as an act of observing. Drawing starts from seeing, putting the world under a magnifying glass, as Geer argued. Paying attention to every detail, moving your gaze from one object to the next, from one color to another. Secondly, drawing is perceiving. Drawing is creating knowledge. Learning is a fully embodied process, not just a conceptual one. That's why we never forget how to ride a bike, even if we don't practice for years. Our physical body absorbs the knowledge. Thus, when we draw what we observe, we also think. We relate to what we see with previously acquired knowledge. We make sense of the world around us. Every motion in the hands, in every one of its work, conveys itself through the element of thinking, Heidegger stated. Drawing is a way to explore and to conceive. It is a way to propose new alternatives. Drawings can be explorations of possible futures, and when they alternate between questioning the present and anticipating the future. So we observe and we create. Drawing allows us to see new things. In drawing, we can imagine unexplored worlds or uncertain futures. And finally, drawing is communication. It's a way to engage an audience in a discussion. Drawing's ability to represent the present, the probable future, and even the non-existing demonstrates its value as a communication medium. Rather than using words, a drawing quickly illustrates an issue, a concept, or a potential. Drawing is a language and a means of communication. Drawing makes an idea more concrete and hence more understandable, evoking feedback and reflection from the audience. Have you ever used drawing to communicate? For example, when you were not able to explain it with words, or maybe when you were trying to explain something to someone whose language you didn't speak. Because a drawing is created from a person's ideas and expertise, it is never neutral, and it is always infused with that person's norms and values. Architects, planners, and policymakers portray an abstract environment that appears objective, neutral, and unbiased. It is anything but that. Lefebvre argues that this space, portrayed by so-called experts, has nothing innocent about it. It answers to particular tactics and strategies. It is quite simply the space of the dominant mode of production, and hence the space of capitalism. So whereas the drawing in this case is used to support dominant societal structures, I want to show some examples of how it can be used to question them. Let's take a look at the work of Molly Crabapple. Her work entitled Starve the Vampires Quit suggests people to stop putting their money in a corrupt banking system and to look for alternatives. As such, it questions the hegemony of the dominant system and contributes to fighting for a more just future. A map is another example. Mapping aggregates knowledge on a specific issue in a visual manner, and previously hidden elements can be uncovered. In this way, maps can actively expose spatial injustices or can act as a counter-narrative for dominant development models, thus effectively opening up decision-making processes. The map, in a first phase, is an inventory of knowledge. It can uncover issues that have been disregarded before. Charles Booth's 1889 map of London's poverty affected decisions about state interventions to alleviate the urban poor's severe living conditions. The map itself triggered political initiatives and official measures. It wasn't just an inventory of the poverty of the city. Future development drawings and urban future projections also engage policymakers and civil society. Metropolitan Coastal Landscape 2100, a large-scale research by design project in Flanders, has sparked a major debate about the future of the coastline. The design of future scenarios where large areas, including existing villages and cities, were returned to the sea, sparked public outrage and increased public awareness of the dangers of climate change and sea level rise. Imagining alternative futures is thus essential for change. So in conclusion, I want to reiterate that whilst drawing might not come naturally to mind as a powerful tool that can support a critical and activist approach to planning, nor Marcuse's call to action, it should well be considered as a tactical instrument for both the support and the fight for the right to the city and the development of a critical urban design practice.